Edwards. How are you, my brother?
I am great, Sir Darby. Great, great. And of course, a pleasure to be here once more. You know, good
Yes.
to have me. Well, pleasure to you. Yeah, man. Thanks for reaching out. Uh, good day to your listeners as well. Yes, staff.
Yes, so thanks. Great to have you, Councillor Courtney Edwards. Can you just remind us which division you represent?
I am from the Independence Division.
Mhm.
Independence.
Now, there seems to be a
That is in
significant.
South.
We lost you for a sec, but let me just repeat the last sentence that you made.
No, I
How's,
was saying that is located in southeastern St. Catherine, where we have
okay,
Member of Parliament Robert Miller as the
okay,
MP.
okay. Now, regarding this controversy about parish or no parish status for Portmore, there are some, I am quite aware that there are some inaccurate statements being made. And let me put it on the table. For one, that I was also involved being the head of a citizens association group, which encompassed quite a number of associations across the island, which also the Portmore Combined, I think it was called the Portmore Combined Citizens Association, was a part of. It was my clear understanding that the fight
Yes.
for a council was part of the fight for becoming an entity in its own, because it would not make sense for you to have your municipality and you are still a part of another parish. That's not how it works in Jamaica. You have various municipal corporations for various parishes. Kingston and St. George probably is the only place you have one, and they function as one. So the argument that I hear people with now that this thing is a new thing, it is not. And you guys have been at this thing for probably over 20 years. What is the problem? So we must, I say to people in the media, we must be careful of the information that we give out. And those leaders, please do give out accurate information. The idea of having that area being a parish is nothing new. It's gone over 20 odd years, I think. I might be wrong because I'm not a student of mathematics. Do you agree or disagree? What I was
I'm happy. I agree totally, and I don't want anybody to be disingenuous because, of course, when the municipality came into being, of course, as you said initially, it was for us to move ahead to become a parish. So it
Yes.
was nothing new. I wondering if it's because of now it is happening, but I mean, I guess over the period would have been tired as governments prior to now not
Right.
to move ahead for becoming a parish. Yeah,
But
but
then,
it's nothing.
Portmore, the number of I expect intelligent people in Portmore, they need to think differently. So they should not be fooled by anyone because they must understand that it's politics and it's election year. So whether it's JLP or PNP, everybody will have their own agenda. So yeah, but we must make them understand, listen, hey, brother, we're not fooling, we are thinking. I know initially, and I can't recall exactly what was the challenge. There was a problem with some councillors who were not included when it became a council, a municipality. I think it had to go to court. Now you have this sort of untenable situation where you have to attend two council meetings. So let me ask you something. Are you paid to be a member of both? Are you paid separately?
Well, that's the disparity, Vernon and members who are listening. The Portmore councillors get to receive only one salary for doing two jobs. You attend both meetings for one salary. So we are the only set of councillors in Jamaica who must go to two different parish council meetings. You know, so
And you
I
you
don't know if
can
you have
vote, you can vote in that parish council too. So you go
vote.
to
Well,
different.
it depends on what you're voting for. I mean, if you have an as a session, that's
Yes.
different. But you can elect the mayor. You know,
So let me, this
I
is
guess
very
that is done by the
interesting.
majority.
So you will know, so your mayor would not attend that council meeting, right?
No, he doesn't.
What an awkward
And that's also
situation.
do.
Because he's mayor of an area which is part of another parish, and yet another mayor will be able now to make decision on his area that he's responsible for. That's interesting.
Yes, but funny again, because the mayor for Spanish Town,
yes,
he also ran for Portmore as well, because Portmore is a part of Spanish Town or St. Catherine overall. You know, so if you look at it, some of the lands even in Portmore are currently owned by Spanish Town too, and some of the billing fees that are in Portmore currently they are being paid to Spanish Town or to St.
but why
Catherine
we not
MC.
hear that? So you see,
So it's untidy.
Very untidy. We don't hear that at all. Because and how do we deal with land tax? How do we deal with land taxes, for example?
And there's some of the taxes are also paid. Well, taxes overall are paid to St. Catherine. You know, not necessarily to Portmore or Spanish Town. They are paid to St. Catherine on a whole.
So how do they allocate funds now to the Portmore area or for the Portmore municipality to use? How do they do that?
Well, the parish council gets a PRF, you know, the parochial and revenue fund from taxes collected.
Yes.
And that is a portion to both councils separately.
But it's
so it doesn't matter how much I pay in Portmore.
Well, that
so
seems to be an untenable situation, because if the people in Portmore pay their taxes, and we know that land taxes and so on go there and anything to do with building approvals and so on, then it would not be a fair. And you have, as far as I know, I don't have the figures, but more persons are living in Portmore. So it would seem to be that the people in the other areas are probably benefiting from the revenues collected in Portmore.
It was some of the issues that we just sorted out. I think we need to go on an educational drive, because people are assuming certain things. And that is why, even when you call certain forums, persons are to be in attendance. You know, the lack of participation sometimes will lead to your own conclusions.
But I will tell you something, they are not going to attend, because what happened, for example, at the last meeting, it's clear to me that a war was pending, and we had a war. I was wondering if it was going to be World War III. So you're going to find that it might be wrong, or right. I don't know. You're going to find some persons who are tired of it and they're not going to attend. It probably serves our purpose that we allow it to be like that. So the less people who attend, the better it is for us to wield the power that we want to wield.
There you go, Vernon, because a few persons will attend meetings and they make decisions on behalf of the mass.
Right.
The same is true, because the meeting that was called, of course, and only a few of us knew about it prior to the meeting. I was not invited. My other two counterparts were not invited as well. And the two members of parliament were not, you know. But of
I
course,
must tell you, I've tried to make contact. Sorry, are you cracking up a bit? I've tried to make contact with the mayor. That's Mr. Leon Thomas, right? And I'm going to try to get him on, because it seems to me that right across the country, rather than meeting and discussing things in a rational way, all we have is cuss and argument and take a microphone and this sort of, I use a word that some people don't like, you know. There's a country word which we used to describe that kind of behavior. It seems to me that the whole country is descending into this, and we can't have that. We need to behave with class and style.
It is chaotic, and as leaders, we ought to show that we are leading.
For example,
an example to do.
Yeah, you're cutting out sometimes, so forgive me when I cut in. For example, we had a problem at a school yesterday, and it is a similar behavior that was displayed. We don't sit down and plan and come to a decision. It's a bad man strategy, and we bring it into the politics, so it's gone into the classroom. Where the hell are we going?
Right.
And this is supposed to be a Christian country, and we believe in Christian values.
At state of affairs, you know, that we tend to solve our problems violently. You know, there's no amicable solution. We don't reason anymore. And someone has to always be right. You know, it is not right. So, as I said before, we need to go in a place where we can sit down at the table, both parties, those who are involved, all stakeholders, and have logical discussions on the way forward, which is actually beneficial to everyone.
I would say, I don't know if this is the solution, probably we should get somebody that both parties agree to to conduct the discussions. Because if you're going to have one party chairing it, you're going to have a problem.
Well,
you're going to have a problem.
And it's funny because at the last meeting, clearly the gentleman that was chairing the meeting was very political. You know,
yes,
the same also seen as a PNP demonstration previously. You know, so I'm just saying those are the people who come with hidden agendas. You know, and it descend into chaos.
Yes, yes.
As you refer to the same meeting that was held in Portmore, you know, what caused the meeting to descend into chaos? Because someone preferred the truth as opposed to a lie. You know, someone was there saying the Portmore was built by Michael Malley in the 70s, and member of Parliament Terlan got up and said that is not true. So here's my truth, and he made mention that in 1968, Edward Philip George Siaga built Independence City. That's what caused the problem, you know.
Well, so I'll add to the trouble now. Michael Manley nor Edward Siaga didn't have any money to build it, so it could have be their personal money. So you see, I make trouble.
When we speak of bill, we're referring to governments.
I know, but right? I'm just telling you that we tend to say something sometimes which are quite illogical. They think that Michael Manley will take the money out of his pocket or Edward Siaga. They probably offer good leadership, but you sometimes waste our time. I just lost you a while ago.
But I mean, seriously, we're not to mislead. No, I'm saying we're not to mislead the people, because really and truly, 68 is an earlier time than the 70s.
Yes.
By whichever means. So are we that blatantly? This is a circle when it's a square?
Well, it depends on your eyesight.
We must be frank and fair.
Yes. It's amazing sometimes to a pair of eyes will see something different from another pair. But sometimes it's completely different from the reality. Life is like that. But another question I'd like to ask, the meeting from memory serves me right. They had a meeting, is it in Portmore? I'm trying to remember. No, it was in Spanish Town, St. Catherine Parish Council, where they had a demonstration, and the meeting was held for about 10 minutes. And then they went to a demonstration. No, I'm a taxpayer. I want to know.
Yes.
And I want to be fair. Did you get paid for that day?
Well, we have not.
I don't like her, so that sounds like a deep well, you know.
Yes, we have not yet been paid, so I cannot speak to that.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell the mayor of that municipality that if all of you get paid, I know some of you remained, I don't know if you were the one who remained behind, but you cannot have a meeting and meet for 5 or 10 minutes and then go do what you want to do and talk about you must be paid. None of you should be paid. And if you are paid, I'm going to make a complaint to the new Integrity Commission. That's getting paid.
Yes.
I have to be careful what I say, you know. That is getting paid for a meeting that really did not take place, because 10 minutes cannot amount to a meeting. And you get your traveling.
Funny, I arrived at the meeting 15 minutes past 10.
Yes.
And it was over with. You know, so.
Can you imagine you can decide to call a meeting every now and again? A worker can't do that, you know. A worker can't do that. You can't go to work for a few minutes and leave and get paid.
It is giving a wrong impression that you can just say you attend a meeting and then you're paid traveling. It is, you know, wrong signal.
It's a very wrong signal.
And it cannot be a case where you come and you sign and then you leave just to get on the traveling.
Oh Lord, Lord, I know about that. Yes, you're going to work and you sign and disappear. I'm quite aware of that. Or better yet, to ask somebody to sign for you. So I am pushing very hard for, I know you will, that benefit too, you lose the money too, but so be it. You all should not get one single cent, and I'm calling on the mayor and everybody out there not to take one single cent, because what you did, you call a meeting, and it's clear to me that there was no intention to have a meeting and that you collect taxpayers' money. No, man, that is very, very wrong.
That's agreeable, but you're going to have the other person who remained.
I thought you'd have disagreed with me, though, because you're also a politician. Say I agree with you then.
You have a person who remained for the entire period.
Okay.
Person would have a different say on the matter.
And you don't have to be a lawyer. Your conscience should dictate to you that, listen, man, I didn't really
And
go to a meeting.
no, there you go. It's about being I'm morally inclined.
No, it's a little serious than that. It's being honest. And then,
Yes.
and I expect the new integrity commission, because they're getting everything, I expect them to comment on something like that. Because let me tell you something, it's not just about looking at money, because the integrity commission, that's another matter. I discuss that probably another day. They seem to just be about money, and how much politicians earn. And corruption is far more than that. It's a national problem. It's not a political problem per se.
Sometimes
I want them to comment on this. I would love them to comment. I'm going to write to them to comment on this particular matter. We're going to have a meeting for a few minutes and go about your business and collect money. No, man, that is wrong.
well, Vernon, I tell you, some people choose to be right or to have integrity when they want to have it. So maybe it suits us all if you intervene in that matter.
Right. No, I know you have to go to a meeting now, and thank you very much to have to take you to that meeting. But then you're a national leader, so I hope they'll understand. You have certain local matters to attend to, but then the nation must hear you publicly. And let me tell you something, and probably listeners will know why I'm saying this. We have a way of wanting to dominate our political leaders. We have what he call a party. Let me tell everybody.
But Vernon, I tell every day, you must make sacrifices.
Yes. Let me just make a general comment. Sometimes it's not easy to get these councillors and MP to speak on issues because there's a feeling that you have to carefully go against the party line. But let me tell you something. Councillors and MPs are elected by the people. Their first responsibility is to represent the people, not the party. Let me make that very, very clear. And no attempt should be made. Yes.
You are correct. And I tell you, people conduct themselves and their business. But if you want respect, you have to act in accordance to achieve such a respect. You know, and by virtue of your title, you know, you should be given that level of respect as well.
Yes.
So it's a situation, you know, that must come at some point, because as you are rightly aware, sometimes there are situations which warrant some form of credence to the local authorities. But that's for a different discussion.
Right.
You know, but I do agree.
By the way, you know my position is
do have a lot on their shoulders.
You know my position, my personal position is that parish council should be far more independent from central government. Your role is different. What I find is a lot of MPs are doing what the councillors are supposed to do. The MPs' responsibilities are to deal with water and light and all those things. That's the responsibility of the councillors. But so you stick to parliament and go and make the laws appropriate laws.
Yes, you legislate, and while on the ground is where authorities would come in to ensure that
they work with the councillors. They work with the councillors, but they must listen to the councillors who are on the ground.
Well, it is said enough, Vernon. If a fish comes up from under sea and say a shark is down there, you have to listen.
Oh no, man, it's a river. Yeah. They say if fish go a river bottom, they say shark down there, you better believe him. Oh yes. Anyway, I'm not going to hold you any longer because you have to go now. Councillor Edwards, Courtney Edwards, I want to thank you very much. And please, you continue to be outspoken. You represent the people. Of course, you know you have to stay in the party line, but you represent the people first.
Before I go, you know, yesterday would have made 1 year since we won the elections. And of course, I was taking a look back, because 1 year sometimes you have to do reflections to see what you would have accomplished, you know, thus far. And you know, we have done 2 major projects apart from the regular maintenance program. We would have done 2 major projects in the division. You know, we put up 2 community entrance signs.
Okay.
One by Independence City and one by Potterdale. Those are significant in different.
Yeah, but you must know where you are.
Know, so,
you must know where you are.
I mean, and I must say this as well, though this falls under the member of parliament, but of course, the division is benefiting in a particular way because the community of Merton now seeing a full road rehabilitation. You know, curb walls being put in, and we have done some zinc fence removal there as well. You know, but I mean, we are moving in the right direction, and I think that if we continue on the same pace, I mean, we are unstoppable. I think, and we can truly campaign on performance going forward.
My we charge, for a campaign, Next time I'm going to send you an invoice. You heard me? We said once.
that can be looked into.
I heard you.
Yes, thank you.
I heard it, but I know you guys are politicians, so And by the way, I must say I love politics too. So don't think I criticize them. I love politics too. So take care, my friend. You have a wonderful day. All the best, and I do hope that we try to be a little bit more rational and we speak the truth some more.
I do hope so too.
Yes, take care. All the best, Courtney.